So let's move on to talents. First I'm going to go over Frenzy. This has been changed from the old functionality. Now it's just a stacking haste buff that your pet gains every time it attacks, just with a normal attack. So it builds up very quickly. That goes with Focus Fire, where you actually consume the Frenzy effect, so the pet loses the Frenzy effect temporarily, and you gain a haste bonus. Notice that improved aspect of the Hawk is no longer there. That's because it's been replaced, essentially. Now your haste bonus is a lot more controllable. There's still a talent that buffs your aspect of the Hawk, which is one with nature, but it just increases the attack power. So as you see, my pet has been building up Frenzy. He's got his Frenzy built up to 4 stacks. Now 5 stacks. And now my Focus Fire is it's gonna tell me I should use Focus Fire, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it now. And now I gain 50% ranged haste. And then my pet will continue attacking and rebuilding his Frenzy effect. The next talent I want to talk about is Fervor. Instantly restores 50 focus to you and your pet on a cooldown, on a 2-minute cooldown. Pretty simple ability. Obviously used for emergencies and such. Improved Kill Command increases the critical strike of your kill command by 10%, and it goes with Killing Streak, where you score 2 kill command criticals in a row. The third will deal extra damage, and it will reduce the cost by 10 focus, which isn't a lot because it does cost 40 focus, but anything is helpful because you do want to use kill command as much as possible as Beast. Kindred Spirits increases you and your pet's maximum focus by 10. Obviously that's the one that gives me the 110, so that is important. And Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera. I know they're getting goofy with the names here. When you're hit with a melee attack, the cooldown of disengage is reduced, and when you're hit by a ranged attack or spell, the cooldown of deterrence is reduced. So this is something they're doing for almost every class. They're giving talents, it's just kind of like a new thing they're doing to give talents where it makes your best defensive abilities reset in certain situations. So that's what's happening here. Now for the other talents, there's not a whole lot of new interesting stuff here. Mainly they're just consolidating talents and eliminating mana talents. For example, Invigoration is the same except it restores focus instead of mana, and so on. And that's pretty simple. Now I do want to talk about a change with Bestial Wrath and the Beast Within with your Fire Truck ability. You notice it no longer says that it makes you immune to slows and stuns and all that jazz. So I want to show you a short demo. I've arranged for this Warlock to test something out with me here. He's going to cast Curse of Exhaustion on me, so that's going to be the slowing. I'm going to cast Bestial Wrath, and that's Beast Within is going to purge the curse, but he's simply going to cast it and it's going to reapply it, even though I'm still within Beast Within. So Beast Within no longer makes you immune to those effects, slowing, stuns, fears, and all that stuff. It just purges it when you cast it. I thought that was really interesting and worth showing, because that's a pretty significant change, I think, to PvP. Moving on to the marksmanship tree, your mastery is Wild Quiver. You might remember that used to be a talent. Now it's just a part. Now it's just your mastery. Aim Shot is granted automatically as soon as you spec into marksmanship. Silencing Shot has gotten much earlier. Chimera Shot has been changed to reflect the changes in the stings. Now instead of doing the instant damage, it simply refreshes the duration of your Serpent Sting and heals you. So this pretty much seals the Steady Shot versus Cobra Shot debate for marksmanship, because you even get the extra functionality of Cobra Shot in Chimera Shot. In addition to that, helping with the Steady Shot is Master Marksman. This is the same title and icon, but a completely different talent than the old one. Now, you have a 60% chance when you hit a Steady Shot to get a stacking buff, and once that buff stacks up 5 times, you get an instant free aim shot. This is pretty nice. I mean, any situation where you're standing there shooting a lot, you're going to get this proccing constantly, and it's free damage, so of course you're going to take it. Marked for Death, again, this does something completely different than the old Marked for Death. What this does is, once you hit Arcane or Chimera Shot on a target, it'll put the Marked for Death effect. So let's see that in action here. Notice that I didn't have to put a Hunter's Mark on there first. I mean, it doesn't exactly say that in the tooltip, but that's how it works. All you have to do is shoot it, and it'll automatically put your Hunter's Mark on there. Now, the main difference between Hunter's Mark and Marked for Death is that Marked for Death is not dispellable. It does not restrict stealth, which is an interesting PvP trade-off. Termination. When attacking an enemy in execute range, your Steady and Cobra Shots generate 6 more focus per shot. Post Haste reduces the cooldown of your rapid fire from 5 to 3 minutes and gives you a minor sprint buff when you disengage. Rapid recuperation. Your rapid fire causes you to generate extra focus, and you gain a big bonus to focus when you gain rapid killing, which is of course after every kill. Bombardment. When you critically hit with multi-shot, your next multi-shot's focus cost will be reduced in half. Great for AoEing, of course, because you should be critting all the time. Silencing shot has been changed slightly. In addition to silencing, it also is a true interrupt. So if you were using this against a target that is immune to silence, then you can still interrupt their spells. Careful aim increases the critical strike chance of steady shot, cobra shot, and aim shot on targets that are at high health. So what you want to do is just take advantage of that and make sure you aim shot things to pull them, and you'll gain a huge crit bonus. Improved steady shot. This gives you that 15% haste bonus from your old improved aspect of the Hawk, and all you have to do is shoot steady shot twice in a row, which you will be doing plenty of. And lastly, in this tree we have resistance is futile. When your marked target attempts to run, flee, or move, you have an 8% chance to cause the next kill command on the marked target within 8 seconds to refund the focus cost. Now this doesn't come up very often, and you're probably like, what do you mean run or move? Well, it's true. You don't actually have to do that much to get this to trigger. You just have to mark it. So if I mark it and this thing walks around, eventually it's just going to trigger the resistance is futile, and I'll be able to do a free kill command. It's kind of weird. Obviously this is most useful for chasing down people in PvP who are trying to escape, but there's other times you can use it. And there it goes. Look at that. It just popped up. All I did was stand here and wait. The chance is very low, so you're not going to see it much, but when you do see it, a free spell, so why not? Okay, moving on to survival. There's some pretty cool changes here I want to highlight. Hunting party has been changed. It's no longer the replenishment, obviously, since you no longer use mana. Instead, it's a Wind Fury, increases 10% permanently, and you also get some agility, so why not? So that's a great deal of extra stats for just 1 point. Serpent Spread. Targets hit by your multi-shot are also afflicted by Serpent Sting equal to 9 seconds of total duration. And if you're like, well, what exactly does that mean? I'll show you in just a second. This goes well with improved Serpent Sting. Your Serpent Sting also does instant damage equal to 30% of its total periodic effect. So I'm going to shoot this guy with a Serpent Sting, and it's going to do 1900 damage straight up. Now if you check the combat log, you see TGN Hunter's improved Serpent Sting hits Highland Elk for that amount. Now, where's my pet? Watch this. I'm going to back up, I'm going to hit multi-shot, and I'm going to check the combat log again. Multi-shot, improved Serpent Sting. So what this does is it doesn't just grant you Serpent Sting of a certain duration, and actually casts Serpent Sting on the targets. So by combining these two, let's say you're up against a horde of, 10 enemies or whatever. You hit multi-shot, it hits all of them, and it applies Serpent Sting, both the instant damage and the damage over time. All for that one cast. It's pretty cool. Thrill of the Hunt. You have a 15% chance when using your main shots and your black arrow to instantly regain 40% of the base focus cost of the shot. It doesn't come up very often. I have these points in here, but it doesn't seem like that great of a talent to me. I might be wrong. Over time it may pay off, but it's for 3 points. It doesn't really give you that much extra focus. I'd rather just work in an extra cobra shot. Now here's a fun one. Mirrored Blades. When attacked by a spell, when you're deterrence, you have a 100% chance to reflect it back at the attacker. And this will continue for as long as you have deterrence up. So if 10 mages are shooting 10 pyroblasts at you, you can reflect 10 pyroblasts. It's pretty wild. I will display this against an NPC here in just a couple minutes. Well, before I go there, I want to go over the last talent here. Lock and Load is unchanged in principle. It still makes your arcane shot and explosive shots free if after you use your freezing trap or ice trap. So, but this leads into TNT, which is completely redone. When you deal periodic damage with immolation trap, explosive trap, or black arrow, in other words, the other traps besides these two, you have a 12% chance to trigger lock and load. So these two work together now. So if you drop an immolation trap or an explosive trap and have the enemy run over it, you have a chance to proc your lock and load for your free explosive and arcane shots. So all these work together now. Okay, I'm going to attract the attention of this elite mob with his lightning bolts and get him on me here. There we go. Now I'm going to pop the turrets and just knocks it right back at him. Here we go again. How cool is that? Scenario Deterrence doesn't just deflect, it reflects spells. Well, that's it for the Hunter. Thank you for watching, please subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.